Right, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to 40 Runs Running Club TV. And I'm joined tonight by Club TV co-host Coach Al, and we are with you on something we're going to look at calling the rundown. It's another element to the Club TV. We're going to find out a little bit about what's going on in the club with regards to events coming up, events past, and just maybe key members who are in the club to find out a little bit more about it. And tonight, obviously, I'm joined by our fellow presenter, Coach Al. How are you, mate? You all right?
A little bit tired. I've got no idea what day of the week it is.
And Tell us why you're tired quickly. Come on.
Why am I tired? We've been in the States for 10 days doing the Dopey Challenge. So if you're not familiar with the Dopey Challenge because you're not into all your Run Disney stuff, you fly to Florida, as you do. Then you run 4 days on the trot. So you do a 5K, then a 10K, then a half marathon, and then a marathon. But each of those races starts at 5 a.m. because you run round the Disney estate, which means you get up at 3 a.m. to then porridge and load and transport and then sit in the corrals from 4:30 onwards. So it's dopey at many levels, but it's an amazing experience because you're getting to run round all 4 parks on the marathon. Each mile and more often there's characters. So it's not a race to be raced. So put that in context, our half marathon took us 4 hours. There were a lot of big queues. But yeah, it's tiring because
I think that's a fair excuse for you to be tired tonight, to be fair. I think
you've got to go to the park. So I think on marathon day we did something like 75,000 steps.
Oh wow. Wow, that is hardcore. Yeah.
If I glaze over, just give me a kick, proverbially under the.
If you go a bit quiet and the head goes down, I'll scream loud down the mic. Well, basically, we come in tonight to talk a little bit about what we call extreme park runs. A lot of you within the club will know about extreme park run, but it might be some of you who don't know. So it's great to catch up with Al on this because Al was there. We was both at the very first one, but Al was there at the absolute conception. So let's go have a couple of minutes talking to Al about how this started up, what the idea was, and why it started up, and then we'll talk about ones we've done since, and obviously what's coming up this Saturday. So Al, tell us about how this all started off.
It's one of those be careful what you wish for. And without wasting too much time, we do have to go back to lockdown. You remember that back in 2020? Because pre-lockdown, Karen and I, who again is a key element of Extreme Parkrun, we were infrequent park runners, believe it or not. We would maybe go to 1 or 2 of the same locations, but it wasn't a must-do thing on a Saturday morning. And then lockdown came along. Parkrun was taken away from us for well over a year. I think it was late 2021 when it actually came back. And we both kind of took a little bit of a pledge to get more into parkrun and doing a bit of tourism. So not long after that, I'd kind of started up the Chelmsford Satellite Club, the original. And a few of us decided to go down to Malden Prom, which is a really good parkrun. It's quite a fast, flat one. Ben is running. If you follow him on the social medias, it's one of his home park runs. So that's why we got dragged down. It was Kieran's fault. It's always Kieran's fault, Kieran Stubbins. But him and Nikki Dennis had a bit of a love-in with Benny's running, and I think they wanted to try and bump into him. So we went down to Malden early January 2022. So as I said, it was a few weeks after Parkrun had come back. And again, if you don't know Kieran Stubbins, I don't know why you don't know him, but if you don't, he works nights. And he was telling us in Costa Coffee on Malden High Street about how he quite often finishes his shift on a Friday night. He's got his gear in his lorry and he'll take himself off to Parkrun. And they weren't married then, but Gemma, his wife, would often find out where he was by looking at his Strava and kind of doing a bit of Strava stalking and seeing which parkrun he'd gone to that morning. And then from there, she could work out where he is, what time he was coming home and everything. And he just happened to casually say, he said, one day I'd love for Gemma to open up Strava and see that I'm in Paris and I've done like a Paris parkrun. And we were just chatting away and laughing about it. And at that time, French parkruns hadn't come back and we didn't know they weren't coming back. So there was still a prospect of maybe rocking up to Paris and doing a parkrun. And the conversation started to go a little bit off and a little bit there. And it was kind of like, could it be? Could we do it? Is it possible? And and that was kind of where the origins came about. Cut a long story short, we couldn't get to Paris because it never came back. But we did find flights, as you know, to Dublin. And I think half a dozen of us just booked on a whim to fly out on a Saturday morning to Dublin, do a park run and fly home again. And that was kind of where Extreme kind of took off, literally. On the back of that conversation and on that flight to, well, I think we ended up going from 3 or 4 airports, didn't we? Because we took a load from Stansted. Louise East had an interesting Ryanair flight in from Luton, and I think you took a load from
we was in
Gatwick.
Luton. No, we was in Luton as well. We went up and stayed the night.
You was Luton as well. All right,
a few of us in Luton. I think actually it cost more in car park fees than it did in the flight, which was absolutely ridiculous. Which again, that's a bit of an element of this as well, wasn't it? Trying to keep it at a realistic cost, because in fact it's a day trip as well.
Yeah. So that's it. You know, what we try and do is we try and put on a number of trips where keep the costs low, and that's where Bus Bingo came into play. But it's about trying to get as far as we can in a day and back. And it's kind of broadened and expanded since then, but that was very much the origins. And the first few were very much where can we go to? Is it interesting? Can we make a day out of it? And can we have some laughs? And I think we tick most of those boxes pretty much every time we go down the Extreme Parkrun route, as many of you have kind of subscribed and followed us along the way. Are we up to number 10 this weekend? I've lost track.
I think because, as you said, it's an evolving thing, isn't it? We've had sort of like the park runs where we get the big group gatherings where we hire out the coach and take everyone, and then big events. And then we've had the break-off ones where people, a bit like a park run, we start doing challenges. They want something extra, something more. So you guys have started to arrange more of these ones. But I think we've been to one, 3 times now on these.
Yeah, we've done Dublin twice, Cork. Carol and I went out to see if we could do a day trip to Limerick. Sorry, Limerick, there's not really a lot there to keep you interested. So the park run's really nice, but keeping everyone interested until it's time to come home, which was the challenge of Limerick. So we may not head that one. Might have to
what's been your favourite one out of all the ones we've done? The past 7, 8, 9, whatever they've been. What's been your favourite, Al?
I think what's interesting is I don't think any of us can really remember the park runs themselves. It's more about the whole experience and, you know, getting up at stupid o'clock, driving to an airport or getting on a bus and doing crazy stuff. I nearly swore then. Yeah, you can edit that out. But crazy stuff along the way. 2 or 3, Isle of Wight was just bonkers.
Brilliant.
Just because we ended up hiring a whole hovercraft. If you haven't seen the clip, and again, the story is, I think when we put it out there, it was the first time we hadn't gone on a bus or a plane. So the idea was that people would make their own way to Portsmouth Friday night, and then we'd all congregate Saturday morning and make our way across to the Isle of Wight. And it started off, I remember Carolyn phoning up the Isle of Wight ferries and going, have you got room for 6? Yes, we can do a booking for 6. About 2 days later, it's, can you make out a booking for 20? Yeah, I think we can fit 20 on. Later that day, it was, what about 40? In the end, we took the whole of the hovercraft. I think it was 80 people got on that hovercraft. Yeah. And what was really funny is it's a commuting. It's part of people's commute on a Saturday morning, and there were regulars rocking up at 7:45 to go to work on the Isle of Wight to be told, I'm sorry, the flight or whatever it is, the sailing is full. And you just look on their face going,
what is going on?
And that image of Mark recording it from the bridge, because he'd gone off over the night before, it was all getting off the hovercraft. Just will, you know, that is kind of what Extreme Parkrun was all about. But there's been other good ones, you know, since Severn Bridge was good because we ran across 2 countries. Obviously, the recent one down to Dalston was memorable if you like dinosaurs. But I don't think there's been an Extreme Parkrun that hasn't got something that stands out in some shape or form. And I guess that's why people keep coming back for more.
It's a proper, as you said, it's evolved from just that parkrun to it's not just a parkrun now. The parkrun's great and it's fantastic, and we turn up en masse, and we do always get in touch with the parkruns before people start saying it's not really fair to the different parkruns. We've always got in touch. We're always providing volunteers. We're always trying to make the experience. And I think every single one we've been to, we've never had one where the run director or the locals have been like, oh, what's going on here? I wish they'd go away. All of them have almost like really embraced it. And some of them actually got on board and joined in with the fun and come to sort of like later on parkrun. So everyone's sort of like really embraced it. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, I think Dover Waterfront was probably one of the first where we had real concerns that we might just swamp the parkrun. It was January, so there was always the weather jeopardy as well, which always adds a little bit of spice to the early ones in the year. But actually, we made it like a proper race day vibe. And I remember the regular park runners were going, this is fantastic. You've really kind of lifted this park run today. Not that it was a bad park run, because it isn't. No. And you run out on the bridge and the marina and everything else. So even that's an interesting park run. But the vibe we brought in terms of cheering everyone back over the line, I think, you know, opened people's eyes to going, well, what's this 40 runs? This is one heck of a community. And that's what it's about, really, isn't it? That's why we do what we do. That's why we
do. Absolutely. As you said, we've been on a plane, been on a coach, been on a hovercraft. We've done the hardest park run in the UK when we went to Great Yarmouth on the beach. Yeah. And that lived up to its reputation. That was hard in the worst conditions. So this time, if we talk about, we look forward to this Saturday, out of all of them now, we're now going to, it's ranked number one, is it the fastest?
Pegwell Bay down in Kent is, according to the Power of 10 and the guy that's the guru on all this stuff, he rates Pegwell Bay as the fastest. The rumours are it measures short, and that's why it's fast. I'll say that quietly because I don't want to upset anyone.
We've all heard this, yeah.
But you can only run what they give you. If it's only 4.8 kilometres, it is what it is, isn't it?
4.8 kilometres. And as you said, it's not about your time. It's not about the fact that distance might come up short or come out long. The fact that it's hard. It's the fact of a load of people getting together and having fun. It's not just about the park run, is it? Afterwards,
no. And we're also heading off then to the biggest Wetherspoons in the country, because obviously post park run breakfast has become quite an important thing. So given that we're growing in terms of the numbers we bring to these events, we thought we better make sure there's seats at the table for everyone. So we've targeted Ramsgate. Can't remember the name of the Wetherspoons, but it's the one on the beach. So park run,
you'll miss it. It's huge.
And literally, if we can't get in there, then we've got troubles.
I remember. Do you remember when we went up to Yarborough to do the Y, and we took a coach up there that took 3 hours, and we had all the fun and games on the bus. And then when we got there afterwards, Mark Sloan had arranged breakfast. I'll never forget looking up in that pub and seeing like 80 or 90, 40 runners all there queuing up for breakfast at the buffet. It was something else.
Yeah, I'm sure spoons will cope. Yeah, they whatever we throw at them as a club and as a contingent, they always kind of come up trump. So, you know, hats off to Spoons. They've got a product that works for us as a running community. We'll put it to the test on Saturday yet again. I know we've had one or two issues. I know that wasn't park run when we had the old cold Clapham breakfast, but that's a rarity, isn't it?
It is a rarity. It's very rare we have these issues. They're great. So are we allowed between us, now Caroline's not here, are we allowed to give any insights into any future park runs, extreme park runs we might be thinking, planning, or is it all top secret, do you reckon? Are we going to get in trouble?
Well, not yes and no. Well, I don't know. Where do you think? Because I haven't really cast aside where we're going to next. I know we've kind of gone from doing the spring one, and we've kind of stopped that, and we now focus on the summer, and people like a beach trip. So I think that's probably about as close as we've got. I've got some ideas, but I've not even shared them with you. So
it's all top secret.
Definitely under a hat. But yeah, the summer one will hopefully be again a coach trip. Will be back on. The sun will hopefully be shining. Beach games will be organised. Well, we can do beach games. We've got kit, and it always travels with us. So if anyone fancies a bit of beach cricket or beach quits or whatever, we'll take the kit along.
Even beach tug of war. We've had beach tug of war. That wasn't beach. It was a tug of war. It was fantastic. But again, just highlights. But these are just here for the fun. It's just about having a whole day. It's almost like an old school jolly boys outing sort of thing, or an old school.
It's like an old school trip, isn't it? Yeah. You know, where me and Karen are the prefects.
Kieran's a naughty boy who always gets suspended.
Yeah. check who's sitting on the back seat of the coach.
Yeah, and again, the coach is so much fun. But so if people want to find out about this weekend and in general going forward, where's the best place for them to have a look at for this weekend details?
I think we've got an events page. We normally put an events page up on the 40 Runs Facebook page. if you're not clued into that, just come to Pegwell Bay 9:15 on Saturday morning. Saturday, what would the date be? 24th. As I said, I don't know what day of the week it is.
23rd, is it 24th? Might be 24th.
This coming weekend, whatever Saturday that is.
Yeah.
I think it's the 24th. Hopefully we'll see lots of you there. And the theme this time is let's just connect and bring a friend. You know, Parkrun has been promoting, friendship through this month, and we've decided that's really kind of what our focus is going to be. And if you get a chance to come down on Friday night, a few of us are staying over, hence why there isn't a bus. There'll be a chance to connect and hang out. Obviously, there'll be a chance to hang out at Parkrun, and there'll be a chance to hang out afterwards, whether that's at Spoons or on the beach or having a little tour around Ramsgate. And again, I think that's kind of the main thing, isn't it? Is I've kind of every extreme parkrun we've been to, I've met someone new for the first time and made friendships. And I think that's probably true of most people that have come to an extreme parkrun. They've come and they've gone away with an extended family of 40 friends on the back of it. And as I said, I can't remember what times I've done, but barely remember which parkruns we've been to. But I do remember all the highlights and the lowlights. And what goes on tour stays on tour, Kieran, as you know.
It's been fantastic. I know everyone gives yourself, Carolyn, and myself all the credit for this, but we always say it, don't we? It's not about us. It's about everyone else. The fact that they turn up, the fact that they get on the coach, they participate. Yeah, people like we've mentioned him loads of times, but he deserves it. He's a big part of Extreme Parkrun. You're Kieran, who's lively. Mark Sloan. There's a lot of people that have made these parkruns exactly what they are. We've got quite a few members that haven't missed one, and they make sure they haven't missed one. It's been an all-round effort. It's been great, and we've got so much more to come. So it's going to be fantastic. Looking forward. I haven't
looked at the weather forecast, have you yet?
No, it's dangerous. Don't look at it. I don't like looking at that because everyone will start talking about it in the next couple of days, won't they? Worrying or being happy, whatever.
We normally have a plan B in case our first parkrun is cancelled due to weather, but I'm not sure we've kind of looked at that because we've been away. We better have a chat about that, haven't we?
Just in case. If we're not around, if Ramsgate's cancelled, just listen out. You might hear some sound and noises. We'll be at the closest one to it somewhere. I'm sure of that.
It can't be cancelled because it's on my countdown to my 250th, so I can't afford a red square.
No more red squares. You've already had a red square this year.
Yeah.
No, brilliant. Honestly, it's been brilliant catching up because we can let the club members know about this. We've got so much more to look forward to. So keep tuned, keep listening to the Club TV, find out more information. Hopefully, me and Al will see as many of you as possible.
See you on Saturday. Yes, absolutely. You'll hear us before you see us, probably.
Definitely. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll catch up with you all really soon.
Yeah, cheers, all. Good night.
Bye.